अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजानन महर्निशं अनेकदन्तं भक्तानां एकदन्तमुपास्महे. Once upon a time, the great king Yudhishthira of the Chandravamsha dynasty was ruling his kingdom. Due to his unfortunate destiny, all his wealth and kingdom was taken away by Duryodhana. So Yudhishthira, along with his brothers and wife, went to stay in a dense forest full of trees and ferocious animals. A learned sage used to meditate in this forest. Due to the power of his meditation, he possessed a divine glow. He used to live on air, water, and dry leaves. He always performed yagas and yagnas. He used to treat his guests with great respect. He used to meditate with closed hands. Seeing such a great sage, Yudhishthira was very happy to prostrate before him along with his brothers and wife. The sage welcomed him with great respect and asked him to be seated. Yudhishthira prayed to the great sage and said, O learned Sutta Mahamuni, the Kauravas have taken away all our wealth and kingdom by means of an unfair game of dice. Apart from this, I, along with my brothers and wife, have undergone a lot of disrespect and unbearable trouble in the hands of Kauravas. Finally, we were sent to the forest. In spite of undergoing such sorrow, I felt very happy on meeting you. Yudhishthira then implored Sutta Mahamuni to enlighten him about a vrata which would destroy all his sorrow and help him to gain back his lost kingdom. To this, Sutta Mahamuni made a mention of the most important and sacred of all vratas. Performing this vrata, one can gain wealth and happiness. It also destroys one's sins and brings prosperity for many generations. O sons of Pandava, this vrata was mentioned by Lord Shiva to Kumaraswamy. Now let me relate to you the procedure to perform this vrata as told by Lord Shiva to Kumaraswamy. A dwelling for the entire sage community on the serene mountain of Kailasa, sitting on the golden throne below the gem-studded Kalpavriksha, the nurturer of the universe was asked by Kumaraswamy, who intended to do good deeds for the world, O the great Lord, please tell me about the most useful vrata to the entire world that would provide wealth and progeny. Hearing this, Lord Shiva felt happy and told, O son, the most pious vrata that can give wealth, long life and fulfillment of desires is the Vinaka Pooja Vrata. It is celebrated on the 4th day of Shukla Paksha of Bhadrapada month. On the day of the vrata, one must wake up early in the morning and after performing the daily austerities and japa without any materialistic expectations, an idol of Vinayaka made of silver, gold or clay is placed in the northern corner of the house inside a mandap, decorated by a 8-petaled lotus and wheat or rice scattered in it. The idol has to be placed inside this decorated mandap, and with lot of devotion, Vinayaka should be worshipped using sandal paste, colored rice, flowers, grass and 21 different kinds of leaves. Afterwards, he must be offered incense, aarti and bhog made of ghee. He must be offered 21 different kinds of bhog, coconut, bananas, blueberries, bale fruit, sugarcane and varieties of sweets, snacks and fruits. Later, a program of dance, song, reading of Puranas, etc. must be performed to please Lord Vinayaka. Brahmins with a good knowledge of Vedas must be presented with bhaginas. Lastly, a feast must be held for all the close friends and relatives. Whoever performs this Vinayaka Vrata in this way with devotion will have all their desires fulfilled. The next day, waking up at sunrise, one must complete all the austerities and again puja must be performed to the idol. The same day, a brahmachari must be invited and offered dakshina. The priest must also be offered upayana, dakshina and tambula. This vrata is most sacred of all the vratas. This vrata is famous in all the 3 lokas. This vrata was performed by devas, sages, gandharvas, kinnaras and had their desires fulfilled. This is the way in which Lord Shiva narrated the procedure of the vrata to Kumaraswamy. O Yudhishthira, please perform the Vinaka Vratha in this way. You will find success. This is the truth. So many people have performed this Vratha on the earth. Damayanti was able to get Nala through this Vratha. Through this Vrata, Krishna was able to get Jambavati and Samantaka gem. Indra was able to slay Vritasura by performing the Vinayaka Vrata. Sri Rama too got back Sita by killing Ravana after performing this Vrata. While bringing Ganga to earth by Bhagirath, while Amruta was brought out by Suras and Asuras, this Vrata was performed. Samba performed this Vrata for the healing of his leprosy. This was as said to Yudhishthira by Suta Mahamuni. Yudhishthira waited with eagerness for the day of Bhadrapada Shukla Chauthi and performed the Vrata with devotion and fulfilled all his desires. This most important Vrata can be performed by all the Varnas of the society. By following the correct procedure, students can excel in their studies. One who needs fortune will be able to achieve wealth, or any kind of wish can be fulfilled when the Vrata is performed by anybody from a child to an old man in Kali Yuga, as this is the most important of all the Vratas. Since all the wishes are fulfilled, this Vrata came to be called Varasiddhi Vinayaka Vrata. This was as told by Suta Mahamuni, which is mentioned in the conversation between Uma and Maheshwara in Skanda Purana, and thus ends the Vinayaka Vratha Katha.